Hey there, welcome to another episode of Payks and Mora's Fantasy Review.
Lot to get through tonight. Some reviews, bit of preview, a special guest, big winner, David Jones, coming up later.
David Jones, he'll be on later on. Big thanks to the London Tavern Hotel here in Elsternwick for having us for this episode.
Fine institution once again.
Absolutely, let's get to it. Well, yes, it was a big week in the Fantasy Footy League this week. Big congratulations going out to Camel and, of course, Wayne for big victories over Greg and Langer.
Unfortunately, from our point of view, there wasn't a huge amount to talk about. Not much to get excited about, but well done. We'll keep it short and simple. Schulberg on top.
They were pretty regulation wins, I've got to say.
Schulberg on top, no one would have probably picked it 2 weeks ago. And to Ron, who bet you?
That game, good thing it didn't happen.
Well, we've also had a good game between Levy and Litha. Levy got up over the line. He's proudly promoted the fact that he has had a lot of players not playing. But it doesn't matter. He didn't score. They didn't score. And Andrew Lifson unfortunately lost to Slavic due to a Justin Westhoff extravaganza, which probably will never happen again.
It's just, there's always that one player that has that week against you, isn't it? Justin Westhoff, gee.
He might not score 150 points aggregate for the rest of the season.
Yes, well, it was a good contest to watch. It was good for the neutral spectator. I had a look at Larkus having a win over Tull, which I believe we spoke about last week. Yes, there might have been some sort of something writing on that, was there, Payks? I don't remember. I believe I can see it there, Payks.
Off camera?
Belongs to me, yeah.
Oh, it must be that.
Thank you. Thanks, Larkus. It was a good win. Tull, I suppose, is lucky that he didn't have Jolly on the field, but it wouldn't hurt him either way. The result was pretty much the same, and Larkus, a very, very impressive result given that he only had 1 ton. 1 ton for the whole game, put up a decent score, and that ton, of all the players that you've got, Mike Pike. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming.
Probably not, but Larkus might be celebrating with some pancakes, a steak, and some maple syrup on top.
Well, it is time to celebrate our winner of the week once again, and hiding behind the David Jones catalogue this week is Wayne. 1647. Congratulations, Wayne.
Thanks, Mark.
Big score, massive score.
It was a big score.
Talk us through it.
Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure. Yeah, it was a great week. I had a bad round 1, a really disappointing loss. Second highest points in the league. And was really nowhere near it. The boys came off the ground at the end of that round and were pretty despondent, pretty upset. I said, you know what, you tried your best. Put your heads down in training this week. You'll reap the rewards. To their credit, they did it, and I came out with a bang this week, and here I am.
You've always concentrated on having a good amount of depth for your squad. This year particularly, your midfield is particularly strong. Obviously, the mistakes that you made while you drafted, but they haven't hurt you yet. You've still got good forwards as well. Garlett scored this week with the out of Valentine.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I was wondering how long I was going to take you. Look, I've always tried.
I'm going to long with the story.
It's true, you are. I've always thought that the depth is about most important things. Around the season, the boys get tired, they get suspended, ranky. Form goes through the roof sometimes, form drops down. So you need a good squad, you need a healthy squad, you need a really deep squad to be competitive, and luckily enough, I've got that this year, I think, and it's worked well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure you were about to point out James Frawley on the bench with 91 and Liam Picken on the bench with 80, so there's remarkable depth going on.
That's right.
15 out of the 18 players scored 70 or above this week.
Yeah, real credit to them. That was fantastic. Let's not discredit Jackie Garlett for his with the little shit Valentine sitting on the sidelines. He's already cost me, but luckily enough, Jackie stood up to the plate and really delivered, which was great.
Have you spoken to Nathan Danfillo about his punch on Tommy Rockland?
I have. I said, mate, if you're going to do that sort of thing, knock him out and get a week. You've been hopeless thus far for me this season, and you need a bit of a spell on the sidelines to recover.
Was that a tactic Tommy Rockland applied by his prime purpose during the week?
Ooh, I don't want to get myself into trouble. I'll say might have been discussed at some stage.
And Tom Liberatore, another big 100 as well. What have you done to turn him around? He's been great.
He has been great. He actually had him last year as well. I really admire Tom for the way he goes in, gets the ball and does what he does. And well, yeah, he had a bit of a hiccup towards the end of last year. He really needed to repay me with some performances this year. Thus far he's delivering, and it's a credit to him. It's been fantastic.
Well, you've got Ron next week, mate. A chance to go another big score?
I'd have to be a chance, don't I?
You don't really
leading points to left, right, and centre.
You don't really have to put up a big score. Let's be honest.
Well, to his credit, he scored quite well. I mean, that backline is just shambolic. But to his credit, he's been scoring well. It's not an easy matchup. I mean, yeah, probably I should win, and the TA win will be offering pretty short odds on myself. Possibly, I'll get back to you on that. But you know, it's fantasy footy, anything can happen. So the boys can't get too far ahead of themselves. It's still a big game.
Great call. Well, congratulations again, Wayne. Hopefully, we see you back in this slot again soon.
Thanks, Mora. Thanks, Payks. Love to do that. I wasn't born to take the big hits. I wasn't born to curl a free kick into the back of the net. I wasn't born to tonk a fast bowler over the top for 6. I was born to be a fantasy player. Heading into round 3, 3 teams are yet to register a win in our competition. After this week, that number reduces by at least 1, as we see the odd couple going head-to-head. Payks versus Mora. The winner climbs clear of the bottom of the ladder for at least 1 week. The loser, well, opens himself up to a season of ridicule and disappointment. I've identified 2 key games for this matchup, being Hawthorn versus Collingwood and GWS versus St Kilda. Mora will naturally be hoping for a Hawthorn victory, and also probably a timely inclusion from Hawthorn's newest recruit, Brian Lake, who may well be charged with the massive job of keeping Travis quiet, Collingwood spearhead, and also Payks. He will also be looking for Brent Guerra and Sean Burgoyne to provide plenty of run out of the Hawthorn backline and repel many thrusts forward. Payks will be hoping for big games from both Heath Shaw and Jordan Lewis, 2 industrious players who get plenty of hands on the ball and who are capable of massive scores, but also can easily be tagged out of a game, so we'll have to be quite careful there. Mora will no doubt be hoping for a St Kilda victory, rush aside the Giants very easily with Jack Stevens, Sam Gilbert and Tiprat Milne all in his side and all capable of racking up huge points, especially against lesser opponents. You may say sometimes they're a bit of downhill skiers. That may prove to be the case this week. Payks, meanwhile, will be hoping that Giles, his main ruckman, his number 1 man, will be able to get on top in the ruck, get on top of big boy McAvoy, and provide plenty of service on a silver platter to one of his young guns, Dylan Steele. This is set to be a cracking battle. I can't wait for the aftermath, as there's going to be plenty of banter, not only this week, but in the weeks to come. So the victor goes for the spoil, and to the loser, well, it's going to be a long, long year. Personally, it's going to be a cracker of a game, but I'm tipping Mora to get his first victory of the season and to leave Payks languishing at the bottom of the ladder. I can't wait for it.
Well, time to get stuck into the week ahead, and the round kicks off on Friday night, so to speak, with Andrew Lifson against Camel. And look, Payks, I don't care what the ladder position says. Camel is 2nd and Liffa is 8th. But I reckon Liffa's got this. He's got a very strong team. We all know that. But so I reckon he's got it. But
you can never ever write a term off with Gary Ablett.
If Gary Ablett has a good week, then Camel's set up.
Yeah, this next game, Levy and Greg. Levy's all the talk. Greg's seriously talking about the bug roll.
His odds have definitely shortened for the bog roll after the first 2 weeks. Langer and Slavic is the next match off the rank, and that's 10th against 11th. Ain't nobody got time for that.
The next game, quite possibly the biggest game of the round in Elliott and Eugene. And this is first versus third.
You wouldn't have picked it 2 weeks ago that this would be match of the round, and that Lacus would be third of that.
I know, but I think Elliot, his midfield is deep. He goes along with Watson and Sammy Mitchell. I think those guys might just push him over the line.
Lacus?
Eugene with Dangerfield would want to lift from him. Big ins in Dale Thomas and Head Scotland if they both play. And also Ricky Henderson, who can forget. But this week's a new week. Let's hope he goes hard at it.
Hopefully he gets lots of ball and gets into a rich vein of form. Looking up next, we've got Lawrence, Lipson and Tull. They're playing. It's a good contest, 9th against 6th. They've both put up a pretty decent score so far. I reckon Tull's got him. I reckon Tull's got Lawrence. What do you reckon?
I think Lipson might get in. If Stevie J's there or thereabouts, he might cause a difference.
Double or nothing on last week?
No, mate.
Fair enough. Don't want to bleed you dry. Another game going on is Ron and Wayne. Definitely heard from the Waynemeister already, and this is going to be a great contest. 5th against 7th on the ladder.
Wayne's confident.
He is very confident. I would be confident too if I was him.
It'd be great for the league if Ron got hard.
It would be disastrous for the league. Actually, it would be better for me, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, because then it's not so bad to lose to someone who's beaten Wayne. So come on, Ron, get up. This game is basically going to be decided on Friday night. What is it? Essendon and Fremantle. Wayne's got Dempsey, Heppel, Bellchambers, Zaharakis and Ballantyne all playing that game.
Goes on and on.
Glick, Goddard. That's a Howlett. I put a D in Howlett.
You can put whatever you want there.
Myers, Barlow and Lee Spur. There's it's just ace Cordy all over again, that one. Sorry, guys. And then, not to mention some other players that I did mention who might be forced into the starting lineup as well. So, if someone is behind in after Friday night, it's going to be a long, long round.
And then the round finishes with the big Sunday twilight clash. One of us may not be here next week.
Morowitz and Paykel, and I think we both know who's going to win that one.
I think we do. Thanks everyone for sticking around and hanging in with us this week. Hope you're a winner. Hopefully we'll see you next week where one of us will be off the bottom.